The stars shimmered quietly in space. The space station called Horizon floated near the edge of the solar system. Its long steel arms held pods and antennas. Inside its command room, men and women watched the screens. All was calm. Then, without warning, a strange ship appeared on the radar. "Sir, you need to see this," said a young technician. Her voice shook. "Something just came out of nowhere." Commander Ray stood up quickly. He was tall, strong, and sharp-eyed. "What is it?" he asked, leaning closer. The screen was dark except for a faint shape. It was long, sharp, and covered in shadow. "No signal came from it. Is it an asteroid?" asked one officer. "No," replied the technician. "It's too big, too smooth." Ray felt a strange wave of fear crawl up his spine. He pressed the come button. "This is Horizon Station." "Unknown ship, can you hear us?" The room was silent except for the hum of the equipment. He tried again. "Unknown ship, this is Horizon Station." "Identify yourself." Nothing came back. Not a sound. Ray clenched his fists. "Scan it, now." A technician tapped on the console. Suddenly, a long line of data appeared. "Sir, it's not responding." No energy signals, no weapons charging, just silence. Ray didn't like silence, not in space, not when an unknown ship appeared out of nowhere. "Alert the station," he said quietly. "I want every defense system online." The room erupted in activity. Red warning lights lit up, alarms blared. The space station came alive, weapons turning toward the dark ship. Through the huge viewing window, Ray watched. The ship was long, sleek, and black as space itself. Its surface shimmered faintly, like it was made of a material that drank in light. It floated closer, slow and steady. A younger officer spoke, voice shaking. "Should we call for help? Should we warn Earth?" Ray shook his head slowly. "Not yet. We don't know if this is a threat. Not yet." He tightened his grip on the railing. Whatever this ship was, it had appeared for a reason. Then a faint sound came from the comms. A voice. Broken and faint. "Help, help." The room fell. Silent. Every person froze. The voice was faint, but it was clear. Someone was calling for help? Ray waved for silence. "Play it again." The technician pressed a button. The voice came again. "Help, help us." Ray felt a shiver run down his spine. "Open a channel," he ordered. The technician shook her head. "I tried, no response." "It's only one way." Ray nodded, deep in thought. Whatever this ship was, someone or something was inside it. He pressed the comm. "All crews, be ready for anything. We don't know what we're dealing with." Through the viewing window, the ship came closer. Its long shape blotted out the stars. It stopped just a few hundred meters from the station. "What do you want?" Ray said aloud, as if the ship could hear him. Then the ship's surface changed. A faint light appeared along its side. It shimmered like a door was opening. A younger technician jumped from his chair. "Sir, something is opening on the ship. It's a docking bay." Ray felt the room tense. Everyone watched the screen, breathless. "Are we under attack?" asked one officer, voice shaking. Ray shook his head slowly. "I don't know. But someone is trying to tell us something." He turned to a group of Marines. "Suit up. We're going to investigate. I'll lead." The Marines nodded. They tightened their helmets, checked their weapons, and lined up near the airlock. Ray pulled on a spacesuit, locking the helmet. "In place, sir," said the technician. "You don't have to go." "We can send a robot." Ray shook his head. "Robots can't tell the difference between a warning and a plea for help. I have to see this myself." He gave a quick nod. "Open the airlock." With a hiss, the airlock opened. The Marines floated out, followed by Ray. Through the silence of space, the strange ship loomed closer. Its surface was cold and smooth. There were no marks, no words, just a faint blue glow from the open bay. As Ray floated closer, he felt a wave of fear wash over him. What was inside? Who was calling for help? "Stay sharp," he said over the comm. The Marines responded with a quiet, "Yes, sir." They reached the ship and activated their magnetic boots, locking down. The bay was massive, big enough for 10 ships to land. The lights inside winked faintly, bathing the area in a soft glow. Ray pulled himself through the opening. The air felt strange, too quiet, too still. His helmet lamp revealed long corridors of steel, no marks, no words. Just silence. Scan the area, he ordered. The Marines lifted their rifles and scanned every corner. One of the Marines waved a gloved hand. "Sir, over here." Ray floated closer. Against the wall was a figure, not human, not fully alien. Its long arms were tied down by a broken strap. Its chest was cracked open, sparks still faintly popping from within. Ray felt a twist in his gut. Whatever this ship was, it had been through a brutal battle. A faint sound came from deeper in the ship. Not words, just a low hum, growing louder. "Move forward," Ray commanded. The Marines tightened their grip, weapons ready. The corridors twisted and turned until they came to a long, wide room. At its center was a huge console, bathed in faint blue light. It looked like a command room, long abandoned. Then the sound came again, louder, not a hum this time, but a voice. "Help." Ray spun, flashlight cutting across the room. Against the far wall was a figure, half buried under broken metal, human. A man in an old-style spacesuit, pale and still. Ray waved for a medic. The medic floated closer, pressed a scanner to the man's chest. The scanner beeped sharply. "Sir, he's alive. Just barely." Ray felt relief and fear crash into him at once. Who was this man? How long had he been here? What was this ship? "Get him out." "Now," he commanded as the Marines lifted the man. The ship shook. A low, deep sound came from the walls. The faint blue light suddenly blazed brighter, then dimmed. "Sir, we have to go," yelled one of the Marines. Ray waved for them to move. They pulled the man towards the airlock. Suddenly, a voice crackled through their helmets. Not the faint plea for help, but a deeper voice. "Warning, enemy detected. All hands to battle stations." Ray froze. That voice came from the ship itself. "What enemy?" he asked aloud. Before he could think, the sound of explosions shook the ship. Alarms blared. The walls vibrated. Through the viewport, Ray saw it. A massive shadow rising from deep space. Not one ship, but many, dark shapes. Weapons lighting up. Ray yelled into the com. "All crews, return to Horizon Station. We have an attack coming." The Marines pulled themselves and the injured man back towards the airlock. The strange ship shook harder, metal screeching. Suddenly, its long surface shimmered and weapons emerged from hidden compartments. The ship came alive, a giant beast. Ready to fight. Ray pulled himself through the airlock, slammed it shut, and watched as the strange ship started to move. Its weapons charged. Its long, sharp body aimed towards the approaching enemy. He pressed a hand to the glass. "What are you?" he whispered. The ship surged forward, a streak of light. The space between the stars became a war zone. Explosions lit the darkness. The strange ship spun and twisted, firing blasts of light at the enemy. The Marines watched from the space station, silent. Then a voice came from the com. The same deep voice. "Help is coming. Stay strong." Ray felt a shiver run down his spine. Whatever this ship was, it was fighting for them. Against an enemy they didn't even know existed. "Sir, what do we do?" asked one of the officers. Ray clenched his fists and stood tall. "We get ready. We protect Earth. Whatever that ship is, it came to help. Now we must be ready to fight." 2. Through the glass, the strange ship roared across space. A lone warrior against a dark army. The space around the station was quiet except for the sound of beating hearts. The strange ship surged closer to the enemy, weapons blazing. The humans watched as the dark shapes returned fire. Ray felt fear. But deep down, he felt something else. Hope. Whatever came next, mankind would not be alone. Suddenly, the strange ship spun sharply, burning brighter. Its weapons charged to a blinding glow. The space shook. Ray watched, voice low. "Will it survive?" A technician shook her head. "We don't know." Ray tightened his grip on the railing. "Then we pray it does. We pray for a miracle. Because if it falls, we're next." In that moment, as stars winked and ships collided, one thought rose in the silence. Whatever came from the darkness, one thing was certain. The strange ship had appeared for a reason. It came to fight, to protect, to stand with mankind, and its story was only just beginning. The space station shook as explosions lit the dark space. Commander Ray stood by the viewport, hands pressed tight against the steel rail. The strange ship floated just beyond the station, its long, sharp body blazing with light. Its weapons roared, sending bright streaks across space. The dark enemy ships returned fire. "Sir," shouted a technician, "we're receiving a new signal." "It's coming from the strange ship." Ray spun around. "Put it through," the sound crackled. It was deep and faint. Warning. Enemy. Force too strong, help needed. Ray felt a lump in his throat. The strange ship spoke with a voice that shook the air. Not just a ship. This was a living being or a machine with a mind. Whatever it was, it came to protect them. He pressed the come. "All crews prepare for battle. Whatever that ship is, it's fighting for us. We won't stand by and watch it die." Around him, officers jumped into action. The space station's weapons came online. The hum of charging guns vibrated under the floor. Through the viewport, the strange ship spun sharply. Its weapons erupted, destroying one enemy craft. Another enemy came closer, its long, spiny body charging weapons aimed at the strange ship. Ray clenched a fist. "Fire on that target," he yelled. The space station shook as its guns roared. Beams of light cut across space, slamming into the enemy ship. The beast of steel exploded, lighting up the space between stars. The strange ship responded with a deep sound. Its voice came over the come again. "Thank you." Ray felt a shock run down his spine. This ship, this voice, was it a person? An AI? An ancient warrior? Whatever it was fighting for mankind. The enemy ships surged closer. There were too many. The space around the strange ship shimmered with blasts. The strange ship refused to move. It put itself between the space station and the enemy, like a giant shield. A young technician spoke, voice shaking. "Sir, it can't hold forever. Its weapons are overheating. Its armor is burning." Ray refused to look away. "Then we help it. All weapons target enemy ships closest to the strange vessel. We give it breathing room. We stand together." A chorus of "Yes, sir," echoed across the room. The space station's weapons came alive. Missiles streaked towards the enemy. The strange ship twisted, using the moment to blast its enemies. One enemy ship exploded and another spun out of control. The strange ship surged forward, charging a massive weapon. A beam of light erupted from its nose, burning a path through the enemy line. The sound shook the space station itself. Ray felt a wave of relief. The strange ship was stronger than anything he had ever seen, yet even this warrior was starting to falter. Its hull was torn, its weapons were burning. It refused to retreat. "Sir? I'm picking up a new signal. Another enemy ship. It's huge." Ray turned to the screens. From the darkness emerged a beast of a ship, twice the size of any other. Its surface shimmered with weapons, and a long, sharp nose aimed towards the strange ship. "No, no." Ray slammed a fist down. "That thing will kill it." Through the viewport, the strange ship stopped its attack and spun to face the new threat. The huge enemy ship launched a blinding beam. The strange ship shook wildly as the beam tore across its surface, burning deep. "Sir, its core is exposed." "It can't take another hit." Ray felt helpless. "Send every fighter we have? Launch the rest of the drones. We must help it." Through space, tiny fighters surged forth from the space station. They were like ants compared to the massive enemy, but their weapons sparked across its surface. The strange ship responded with a deep sound, like a voice calling across space. Then the strange ship acted. Its weapons charged, brighter and brighter. The space station shook. The strange ship aimed directly at the massive enemy. Its voice spoke clearly across the come. "Humans live, we sacrifice." Ray felt the room fall silent. "What does that mean?" he whispered. With a sound like a thunderclap, the strange ship surged forward. Its long body blazed brighter and brighter. The enemy ship tried to move away, weapons charging, but it was too late. The strange ship slammed into the enemy vessel. The explosion shook space itself, burning across the stars. Ray shielded his eyes. The space station shook violently as the shockwave passed. The screens winked out for a moment, then returned. Space was burning. The strange ship was gone. The enemy vessel was broken apart, its pieces scattered across the dark. "Sir, it's gone," said one technician, voice shaking. Ray stood silent, unable to move. The strange ship came from nowhere, spoke a few words, and gave its life for mankind. The room was quiet except for the sound of slow breathing. No one spoke. Then, faintly, a signal came across the comm. "Broken, weak, help. Saved, protect. Earth." Ray sank down into the chair, hands shaking. "We owe it everything," he said quietly. Through the viewport, the burning pieces of the strange ship floated away. The enemy fleet was gone. The space was silent. The space station remained intact, its weapons dark. Ray rose, voice stronger now. "Send a recovery team. Find any piece of that ship. We must honor it. We must remember it. Whatever it was, it came to save us. We will save its memory. We will carry its mission." The room erupted into motion. Teams scrambled to launch recovery ships. The space beyond the station shimmered with faint sparks and burning metal. Then one technician spoke. "Sir? We've found something, a piece of its core. It's still active." Ray felt his heart skip. "What does it mean?" The technician shook his head. "I don't know, but it's still sending a signal. A faint one. It's calling for help. And, telling us one thing." Ray tightened his grip. "What's the message?" The technician's voice was low and shaking. "It says, 'I will return.'" Ray felt a shiver down his spine. The strange ship was gone, but its voice remained. Its promise floated across the stars. Humans would remember this night. They would remember this ship. Whatever came next, one thing was certain. The strange ship came from the darkness, saved mankind, and promised to rise again. The stars shimmered faintly as the space station watched. The burning ruins. Somewhere out there, in the silence of space, the voice still whispered, "I will return." And with that, mankind was no longer alone. The space station was quiet after the battle. The stars shimmered faintly, and pieces of broken metal floated like dust. Humans worked quickly, trying to save anything left from the strange ship that gave its life for them. Commander Ray stood by the viewport, arms crossed, tired eyes scanning the debris. "Have we found the core?" he asked. A technician nodded. "Yes, sir. It's still sending a faint signal. Recovery teams have it." "They're bringing it inside now." Ray felt a wave of relief. Whatever this ship was, its core could hold answers. It might tell them who built it, where it came from, and why it came to help. "Take it to the secure bay," he said quietly. "I want it analyzed right now." The recovery team pulled the core from the docking bay. It was a sphere, no bigger than a person, faintly glowing with a soft blue light. Its surface was smooth, like glass and steel combined. The hum coming from it felt almost alive. The lead scientist, Dr. Lane, waved Ray closer. "Sir, we've connected to its memory. We can access its files, but it's very old. Its language is fragmented." Ray gave a sharp nod. "Play what you can. We need to understand why it came to save us." Lights dimmed as the screens came online. Suddenly, images appeared. Images of ancient battles between strange ships. The sound was faint, like whispers. The room watched as starfleets collided. The strange ship, the same ship that sacrificed itself, appeared, fighting a massive, dark army. The images shook the room. The strange ship, long ago, fought to protect a planet, not Earth, but another world. The planet burned. The strange ship refused to run. It stayed until its weapons were drained and its hull was broken. Then, the voice came deep and soft. "I am the Guardian, created to protect those too weak to fight. My kind is gone. My mission is not." Ray felt a lump in his throat. This ship was ancient. A protector made for a lost people, still fighting long after its creators were gone. The screens shimmered. New images appeared. This time it was a map. Stars connected by lines, a trail across galaxies. At the end of the trail was a single planet, Earth. Ray pressed closer. Why Earth? The voice spoke again. A beacon called. A world of life and courage, a place worth saving. My core came to protect. Dr. Lane shook her head. Sir, this ship came from another galaxy. It came because it detected us. Ray felt a shock. It crossed galaxies? For us? Then the voice shifted, softer, broken. My end is near. My core will wait. If others come, rise again. The voice died down, replaced by a faint hum. Ray tightened his fists. It gave itself to save us. But it left its core for a reason. It can rise again. We can help it. Dr. Lane nodded. Yes, but we must be careful. Whatever built this ship, its enemies may come looking for it. Ray felt a cold wave crawl down his spine. Then we must be ready. Whatever destroyed its world could come for ours. He waved for the recovery team. Get this core sealed and secured. Begin making a backup of its data. We can't lose it. As crews worked, Ray watched the screens. The strange ship's voice played in a faint loop. If others come, rise. Again, its sound was soft, hopeful. Yet it felt like a warning. Ray spoke aloud, voice carrying across the room. This ship came to save us. Now we must honor it. Whatever is out there, we must be ready to defend ourselves. We must be ready for the darkness it came to fight. Around him, the crew nodded. The room felt tense, yet hopeful. A young technician spoke quietly. Sir, the core is still sending faint signals. Not to us, somewhere deep in space. Ray felt a wave of unease. What is it calling? The technician shook his head. I don't know, but it's not just a beacon. It's like a warning, or maybe a message. Ray stepped closer. Play it. A faint sound came from the speakers. Not words, but a long rising hum, repeating every few seconds. It felt deep and strong, like the heartbeat of the ship itself. Ray clenched his jaw. Whatever this sound was, it came from the heart of the strange ship. The ship had died for them. But its voice was still calling. Calling into the dark. Scan. The area where it's pointing, Ray commanded. The technician nodded, brushing across the controls. Suddenly, a faint blip appeared far from the station. Very faint, almost lost in the stars. What is it? Asked Dr. Lane. Ray felt a wave of ice run down his spine. Something's out there, something big, and it's waking up. He pulled himself closer to the screens. The faint blip shimmered. For a moment, then winked out. But for a second, Ray had seen its shape. A huge shadow rising from the depths of space. Alert all stations, he said sharply. We have new data. Whatever came for the strange ship before may be coming for US, whatever destroyed that ancient world. May be on its way here. The room erupted in activity. Red lights winked, alarms chimed. Yet deep down, Ray felt a strange sense of strength. The strange ship had warned them. It had died for mankind and left its core as a beacon, he pressed. A hand to the core felt its faint hum. We won't waste your gift. We'll stand ready. We'll honor your sacrifice. Through the viewport, space shimmered. Somewhere out there, the enemy was waking, but this time, mankind was not alone, not anymore. The strange ship, its voice faint, promised one thing. Even in death, even as a core, it would rise again. Ray felt his hands tighten. The long silence of space felt like a warning. Somewhere, deep in the dark, an ancient terror was rising. Somewhere, a hero's voice was calling. And mankind would answer. Through the hum of the core, one sound came, soft and clear. I will return, the voice of the strange ship. The voice of a protector. Ray stood tall. We'll be ready, he promised. The room fell silent, save for the hum of the core. In that hum was a secret, a warning, and a promise. The strange ship came from the shadows to protect mankind. Its story was not yet over. Far away, deep in space, the enemy stirred, closer to home. On the space station, humans stood united. Whatever came from the dark, they would be ready. The strange ship had returned once. And one day, when mankind needed it, it would return again. And when that moment came, mankind would remember this night. The night an unknown ship came from Nowhere, the night it sacrificed itself for a planet it had never seen. The night it promised to rise from silence and come to save the stars. Through the faint hum of the core, one thought rang true across the space station. The strange ship was gone, but its story was far from over. The space station was a hive of activity. Humans worked day and night, repairing weapons, strengthening the shields, and studying the strange ship's core. Its faint glow lit the secure bay. Its hum felt like a heartbeat, beating stronger each. Our Commander Ray stood before it, arms crossed, deep in thought. Dr. Lane tapped a console, scanning its surface. "Sir, we've learned a lot. This core is not just a machine. It's a memory. A living record of the ship itself?" Ray stepped closer. "A record? Of what?" "Of its battles, its victories, its losses. Its very thoughts, whatever this ship was." "It was almost alive," she said softly. Ray felt a shiver. "It came for us, fought for us. And now it's telling us its story." He waved for a technician. "Play more of its files. Maybe it can tell us how to defend ourselves." The technician pressed a switch. The screens came alive with images. Not just ships and explosions this time. These were moments, memories, planet burning. The strange ship fighting wave after wave of enemies, a voice repeating over and over, "Must protect. Must save." An alien race falling. The strange ship, broken and burning, charging one last time into the heart of an enemy army. Ray felt every person in the room shift closer. The images felt more like memories, and the voice felt like a plea. Dr. Lane spoke quietly. It came from a world that no longer exists. Its people built it as a protector. When its world fell, it refused to stop. It wandered space until it found another world worth defending. It found us. Ray tightened his hand. "Then we owe it more than thanks. We owe it a chance to rise." Again, he waved to the technician. "Scan every piece. Find its schematics, its weapons, its defenses. We must learn from it. Whatever came for its world will come for ours." The technician saluted. "Yes, sir, for ours humans worked." The strange ship's core revealed weapons unlike anything mankind had ever seen. Energy weapons that shaped light. Shields that molded themselves to enemy attacks. A drive that twisted space. Through the faint hum came words. Broken, faint. Stand strong. Protect life. Do not fear the dark. Ray pressed a hand to the core. "We won't, not anymore." Then came an alert. The space station shook slightly. Red lights winked across the room. An alarm screamed. "Sir, the long-range scanner picked up something." "The blip from before, it's growing." "Getting closer." Ray spun to the screens. The faint shadow in deep space was no longer faint. It was solid, dark, massive, bigger than any ship he had ever seen. "Send a message to Earth," he ordered. "Alert every station, every fleet. We have a new enemy coming." He turned to Dr. Lane. "How long do we have?" She shook her head. "Days, maybe hours, whatever it is, it's moving fast." "And it's huge." Ray clenched his fists. "Then we have to be ready." "We have one chance, the core, the strange ship. We have to find a way to use it." Dr. Lane nodded. "We can try? We can link its core to one of our ships. Try to make a hybrid, its knowledge, our weapons." Ray felt a glimmer of hope. "Do it, whatever it takes." Through the space station's long corridors, crews worked harder. They pulled apart ships, added weapons, added armor. The strange ship's core floated in its secure bay, a beacon of light and life. Dr. Lane and her team worked until their hands shook, merging the strange ship's ancient design with mankind's best technology. Through it all, Ray felt the hum of the core. Sometimes faint, sometimes strong, sometimes almost like words. Trust, unite, rise again. Days passed. The massive enemy drew closer. Its shadow blotted out the stars. The space station was ready. Humans lined the corridors, weapons charged. The hybrid ship floated in the launch bay, a mix of old and new, alien and human. The strange core now beat deep within its heart. Ray stepped inside. The ship felt strange under his hands, a mix of steel and living light. Dr. Lane smiled faintly. We've called it the Guardian. The ship that came to save us now has a chance to rise again. Ray pressed a hand to the console. The hum of the core rose sharply, filling the ship. Suddenly, screens winked to life and the deep voice spoke. New life, new hands, will you stand? Ray felt a shiver run down his spine. We will, he promised. We'll stand for ourselves, for every world that can't. Through the viewport, the space beyond shimmered. The enemy drew closer. Its long, dark form rose like a beast from the deep. Its weapons blazed faintly. Its sheer size shook the space station. Ray tightened his grip. Launch the Guardian. All fighters, form up. Whatever came for the strange ship came for us. Today, we finish this fight. The bay doors opened. The Guardian surged forth, light pouring from its hull. Humans watched as the ship rose, a beacon of strength. The strange core pulsed deep within its heart, a sound like a drum beating in the silence of space. Then came the voice. Strong, deep, filling every channel across every ship and station. I am the Guardian, created to protect, united with mankind, together. We rise. Ray felt a wave of emotion wash over him. Humans, alien ship, and ancient core, united for a single purpose. Through the stars, the enemy surged closer. Its weapons blazed, its long body shook space itself. The Guardian surged forth, weapons charging, shields rising. Humans cheered. Across every channel, every deck. Ray tightened his hands on the controls. For every planet lost, for every life taken, we stand, we fight. We rise. Through the hum of the core came a reply. We rise. Together. Then the space between them exploded with light. The enemy roared. The Guardian surged forth, a beacon against the dark. Through the stars came the sound of a new voice, not the faint whisper of a broken core, not the sound of silence and loss. This voice was strong, alive, and bold. We rise, together, Ray smiled faintly. Whatever came next, mankind was not alone. An ancient warrior lived within the heart of the Guardian. Humans and the ship would stand together. Against the darkness. Against the terror from the stars. Through the space station windows, countless faces watched. The Guardian surged forth, weapons blazing, core burning brighter than any star. Whatever came from the dark would now have to face more than mankind. It would face a force born of honor, sacrifice, and a promise long ago made. In that moment, across the silence of space, across the burning stars, across countless worlds, a sound rose, not a whisper, not a hum, not a faint echo, a voice, strong, clear, united. We rise, together. And in that sound, in that moment, a new chapter began. The stars shimmered faintly as the enemy drew closer. Its massive shape blotted out the light of a nearby sun. Humans watched from their space stations, weapons ready, hearts beating fast. At the center floated the Guardian, the strange ship, rebuilt and reborn with mankind. Its surface shimmered with a faint golden light. Its weapons stood ready. Commander Ray gripped the console, voice calm and strong. All ships, this is Commander Ray. Stay in position. Stay sharp. Whatever this thing is, we stand together. We fight together. Around him came the replies. Yes, sir, we're with you. For Earth. Through it all, deep within the Guardian, came the hum of the ancient core. Not faint anymore, strong, clear, stand strong, protect, we rise. Ray felt a shiver run down his spine. The voice spoke openly now, reaching every channel. Humans felt it too. An ancient force, a protector, was with them. Then came the enemy. It surged forth from the darkness, a massive beast of steel and flame. Its weapons blazed, burning across space. The first shots shook the space stations. Shields sparked. Humans yelled and ducked as blasts shook the corridors. Return fire! Commanded Ray. Humans responded. The space came alive with streaking. Blasts, missiles, and blazing energy. The enemy pressed harder, its long shape releasing wave after wave of smaller ships. They surged forth like a swarm of insects, rushing towards the stations and the Guardian. Launch fighters! Yelled Ray. The space station shook as fighters surged from their bays. Humans and drones charged forth, weapons blazing to meet. The enemy wave, Through it all, the Guardian surged forward. Its weapons came alive, long beams of light tearing across space. The enemy ships that came too close were ripped apart, but the beast was strong. Its massive weapons roared. The space shook, an explosion lit the stars. Humans watched in terror as one of their stations broke apart. Its pieces burning as they drifted towards the planet. Ray slammed a fist down. "Move the Guardian closer! Put it between the enemy and the stations." The Guardian surged forth, its shields blazing brighter. Enemy blasts crashed into its surface, burning long lines across its hull. Yet it refused to falter. Its weapons roared, burning enemy ships like sparks in the dark. Through it all, the hum of the core rose. Its voice spoke clearly. "Through loss we rise. Through pain we stand, together we protect." Humans felt it deep in their hearts. The ship was more than steel. It was a beacon of sacrifice, honor, and strength. It refused to fall. Ray clenched the console. "All units, focus on the enemy's weapons." "We can't win unless we break its spine," a pilot yelled back. "Yes, sir." Dozens of fighters surged forth, focusing their attacks. The Guardian followed, its weapons aligning with the smaller ships. Together, like a storm of light and steel, they surged towards the enemy's weapons. The beast shook, burning as its weapons were torn apart. Humans yelled with joy, but the enemy refused to fall. It surged forth, releasing a wave of dark energy across space. The Guardian shook violently. Its surface shimmered, sparks flying from its hull. "Guardian, stay with us," yelled Ray. Through the cum came the deep voice, shaking but strong. "I rise for mankind. I rise for the lost. I rise until the end." With a deep hum, the Guardian surged forward, charging its main weapon. Humans watched as light gathered along its surface, brighter and brighter until it was like a second sun. The enemy turned, weapons charging in reply. The space shook, humans held their breath, then came the sound. Not words, not a hum. A deep, commanding roar, filling space itself. The Guardian launched its charge. A beam of light surged forth, burning across space, striking deep into the heart of the enemy beast. The beast shook violently, burning from within. Its long, dark shape twisted and broke apart, burning fragments spiraling into the void. Humans yelled, shook hands, embraced. The stations shook with cries of victory. Ray felt a lump rise in his throat. The Guardian floated, wounded but strong. Its surface was torn, its weapons burning faintly. Yet it held itself still, surrounded by smaller human ships that came closer like a shield. Through the silence came the deep voice. "The enemy is broken. The path is safe. Protect this world. Remember this night." Ree pressed a hand to the viewport. We will remember." Through the cum came faint words. "My core, my heart, remain. In mankind I rise again." Then, with a faint shimmer, the voice fell quiet. The hum of the core softened until it was like a faint beat. The Guardian floated, wounded but strong. Humans surrounded it, ships moving closer, forming a circle. Against the silence of space, a quiet cheer rose across every channel. The strange ship had come from the darkness, saved mankind, and now floated as a beacon of honor and strength. Ray spoke quietly, voice shaking. "Today, we stood together, humans, the Guardian. We rose as one. We refused to fall." Around him, crews nodded. Tears shimmered, smiles appeared. Against the darkness, mankind had found a champion, not a weapon, not a machine, but a heart, a protector. Through the silence came one faint sound. The hum of the core, the voice that refused to die. The voice that promised, across the stars, across the ages, "Through darkness, we rise, together." Ray tightened his hand and smiled faintly. Whatever came next, mankind would stand. Whatever came from the dark, mankind would rise. The Guardian would rise too. Its voice would whisper across the stars, reminding every heart, "Through sacrifice, we rise, together." In that moment, surrounded by burning stars and broken ships, mankind felt it deep. They were no longer alone. They had a Guardian. And together, across space and time, across silence and flame, across every dark night, across every burning star, across every broken ship. They would rise, together. The silence after the battle felt unreal. The space was littered with pieces of burning metal. The stars shimmered faintly and the space stations floated quietly. Humans worked quickly, rushing between ships and stations to repair damage and save the wounded. Commander Ray stood at the viewport of the main station. The Guardian floated not far away, its surface torn and blackened, yet still holding together. Its faint hum could be felt deep in the heart of every person watching. "Sir?" called a technician, voice shaking. "We have countless wounded. The stations can hold for now, but we've lost a lot of ships." Ray nodded slowly. "Help the wounded. Repair the stations. We've suffered tonight, but we're still here. We survive." The technician saluted. "Yes, sir." Dr. Lane appeared beside him, a faint smile crossing her tired face. "The Guardian's core is still active, faint but strong. It saved us. Its voice is weaker now, but it's still with us." Ray pressed a hand to the viewport. "That ship came from across the stars for a reason, not just to save us tonight, but to warn us for tomorrow." He turned to Dr. Lane. "Have you learned more from its core?" She nodded slowly. Little. The core came from a planet long ago, a world that was destroyed by the same enemy that came tonight. They weren't a single ship. They weren't one beast. They were a force, an army. A storm that wiped out countless worlds. Ray felt a shiver. If this was only one of their ships, then more are coming? Dr. Lane pressed a hand to the core, voice shaking. "That's what it's telling us. This was only a scout. The rest are still out there. And one day, soon, they will come for us." The room fell quiet. Humans exchanged glances. Fear mixed with anger and resolve. Ray tightened his fists. "Then they have to be ready? Whatever came tonight was strong. But we stopped it. Whatever comes next, we will stop too. Not as separate nations, not as separate ships, together." He pressed the come. "All stations, all crews, listen. Today, mankind fought as one. We refused to fall, we refused to give up. We refused to surrender. The enemy came from the dark, and we rose to meet it. We bled, we suffered, but we survived. And tonight, thanks to the Guardian, we proved one thing. That mankind can rise, no matter the odds." A faint cheer rose across the come. Humans nodded, wiped away tears, clenched their hands, and smiled faintly. Together, across space, across ships, across worlds, mankind felt connected. Ray waved Dr. Lane closer. "The core, can it help us build more ships? New weapons?" She smiled faintly. "It can. Its knowledge is deep. Its voice is faint, but still strong. It can teach us how to build stronger weapons, faster ships, smarter defenses." The Guardian came to save us tonight. Its core can help us save ourselves tomorrow. Ray felt a weight lift from his chest. Then we listen. We learn, we rebuild. We rise. Through the silence came a faint hum from the Guardian, soft but strong. Humans felt it deep in their bones, across every deck and every ship. Through sacrifice, we rise. The words came faint across the come, soft but strong. Humans felt a shiver run down their spines. Ray pressed a hand to the viewport. "We rise. Together." Around him, crews nodded. The space stations came alive with activity. Welding sparks flew. New weapons came online. The broken ships of mankind began to rise again, stronger and tougher than before. Through the silence of space, a faint warning came from deep within the Guardian. Dr. Lane pressed a hand to the console. "Sir, I've found a map. A trail. Across space, it leads deep into the dark, to the heart of the enemy's strength." Ray felt a wave of ice crawl down his spine. "Then that's where this war leads. Not tonight, not tomorrow, but one day soon. We'll take this fight to them. We'll end this threat at its source." He pressed the come one more time. All crews marked this night, the night mankind refused to fall. The night a ship came from the stars to save us. The night we learned we were not alone and that a greater war is coming. We rise tonight, we rise tomorrow. We rise every night until the enemy is defeated. Through every channel came a strong reply. Humans felt it deep in their hearts. Whatever came from the dark, mankind would rise to meet it. Together, Ray stood tall as the faint hum of the Guardian spoke. One last time across the stars, not words. Not a voice, but a sound. The sound of strength. A sound of honor. The sound of a protector. Through the silence of space, across burning stars and broken ships, came a promise. A faint whisper, deep and strong. The Guardian would rise again, and mankind would rise with it. Through the silence came a sound every person felt deep in their heart. Not a hum. Not a voice, not a word, but a beating sound. A sound. Like a heart. A sound like the beating heart of the Guardian, and mankind felt it, together, united, strong, through sacrifice. We rise, together. Through the stars came one faint sound. Not words, not a hum, not a whisper, but a sound deep and strong, a sound that promised one thing. Whatever came next, mankind would stand and the Guardian would rise. Together. Through the burning stars, across the silence of space, across countless worlds, across countless nights, mankind would rise through sacrifice, through honor, through hope. Through the dark, through the silence, through the stars, through the sound that promised a new dawn for mankind, through the sound that promised one thing over and over, through sacrifice, we rise. Through the stars, we rise. Through the silence, we rise. Through it all, mankind will rise. Together, the space station was busy like never before. Humans worked day and night, welding metal, fitting weapons, and building new ships. The strange ship's core floated in a secure bay, humming faintly. Its voice, soft but strong, gave mankind more than warning. It gave them knowledge. Commander Ray watched as long lines of new ships were pulled out of the stations. Sleek fighters, strong carriers, heavy battleships, all inspired by the design and secrets of the Guardian. Dr. Lane stood beside him, holding a tablet. Sir, the core's data is beyond anything we've ever seen. Its weapons, its shields, its drive. We're learning from it every second, Ray nodded slowly. That ship came from across the stars to save us. Now, its core will help us save ourselves. Whatever came for its world will one day come for ours. We must be ready, a technician waved from across the room. Sir? The core just activated a new signal. It's sending a map. Not to a planet, but to a shipyard, an ancient one, far beyond our borders. Ray felt a shiver. A shipyard left by its people? Dr. Lane smiled faintly. It must be. A place where more ships like the Guardian can be built. Its people may be gone, but its legacy can live on, if we can reach it. Ray pressed a hand to the viewport. The stars shimmered. Somewhere deep in the dark, a shipyard floated, waiting for a new generation of protectors. Then that's where we go next. We will rebuild the Guardian, not one ship. Not 10, a fleet, a Guardian fleet. Around him, crews stood tall. Pilots, engineers, soldiers, all felt the hum of the core deep in their hearts. Humans weren't just building ships anymore. They were building a future. A chance to stand against the coming dark. Through the silence came the faint sound of the core, rising and falling like a heartbeat. Not words, not a hum, but a sound that promised strength. The sound of a warrior. The sound of a protector. Ray clenched a fist. We rise tonight, we rise tomorrow. We rise every night until the enemy is defeated. Whatever came for the Guardian came for mankind too. But this time, we won't stand alone. We will rise together. Through the stars came one faint sound. The sound of a heart beating strong. The sound of a new future being born. Humans felt it, the ships felt it, the core felt it. Through sacrifice. Mankind would rise, together, forever. Through deep space, mankind's new fleet surged forward. Dozens of ships, fighters, carriers, battleships followed the hum of the core. At the lead was the Guardian, its surface still scarred from the last battle, its core beating faintly. Like a heart, Commander Ray stood on the bridge, hands resting on the console. The stars shimmered faintly as Dr. Lane announced, "Sir, we've arrived. The ancient shipyard, it's here." Ray felt a rush of air leave his chest. Before them floated a massive structure. Its surface was dark, long abandoned, but still strong. Its long arms and countless bays promised one thing, a chance to rise again. Humans watched in silence. The shipyard was huge, shaped like a giant metal hand reaching out into space. Its design resembled the Guardian, but 10 times larger. "Scan it," Ray commanded. A technician tapped quickly. "Sir, the structure is intact. Its core still has faint energy." The ancient builders left this for a reason. Ray clenched his hand. For those who came after, for those who refused to give up. He pressed the "Come, all crews, secure the area. We claim this shipyard tonight. We claim it for mankind." Humans surged forth. Small teams landed across the shipyard. They powered its long dormant cores. Slowly, deep vibrations shook the structure. Its lights winked on, faint at first, then brighter. The ancient shipyard came to life. Dr. Lane smiled as data streamed across screens. "Sir, this shipyard has patterns for hundreds of ships, destroyers, carriers, battleships, and guardians. Its builders left it for those with the strength to rise. They left it for those who refused to surrender." Ray felt a lump rise in his throat. "Then we honor them. We honor the Guardian that came for us. We honor every world that fell. And we make sure this shipyard will rise again. Not for one planet, but for all who call the stars their home." Around him, crews smiled faintly. The hum of the Guardian's core rose stronger. Humans felt it deep within their bones. Not just a sound, not just a signal, a promise. Through sacrifice, mankind would rise. Together. Through the silence came a sound. The sound of ancient steel waking. The sound of countless bays charging to life. The sound of countless stars whispering across space. Through the faint hum came one voice, not words, not a hum, not a whisper, but a sound that promised one thing. Through loss we rise. Through sacrifice we rise. Through honor we rise. Through the stars mankind would rise. Through this shipyard mankind would rise. Through this night, across countless nights, across countless stars, mankind would rise. Together. Forever. The ancient shipyard shook with life. Humans worked quickly, hands and tools blurring as sparks flew. The long silent docks now blazed with light. One by one, frames of new ships rose from the shipyard, shaped by ancient designs and strengthened by human hands. Commander Ray watched from a high platform. Dr. Lane stood beside him, smiling faintly. "Sir, the first hull is ready. Its design is like the Guardian, strong, fast, built for one thing, to protect." Ray pressed a hand to the railing. "Then this is the dawn of a new era, not just one Guardian, but many. Not just one ship, but a fleet. Whatever came for that ancient world will come for ours. This time, we will be ready." Through the hum of the shipyard came the sound of progress, welding sparks, heavy machinery moving, the faint pulse of the Guardian's core deep in the heart of the bay. Humans felt it in their bones, a sound that promised strength. Ray spoke aloud, voice strong. "We rise tonight. Not for ourselves, but for every world that can't. Not for ourselves, but for every star that shines in the dark. We rise for the fallen. We rise for the lost. We rise for mankind. And we rise for the stars." Through the silence came an answer. Not words, not a hum, not a voice, but a sound deep and strong. The sound of countless ships rising from the darkness. The sound of a future being built. Through sacrifice, mankind would rise. Through honor, mankind would rise. Through the stars, mankind would rise together forever. Through the silence of space, the new Guardian fleet surged forth. Dozens of ships, built by ancient hands and modern hearts, rose like stars. Commander Ray stood tall, voice strong. "Today we rise. Not for ourselves, but for every world that came before. Not for ourselves, but for every world yet to come." Humans cheered. The hum of the Guardian's core rose like a drum. Together, across countless stars, mankind launched into the dark. Whatever came, whatever rose, mankind would stand, united, strong, forever, together, through sacrifice, through honor. Through the stars, mankind would rise, forever,